So you've probably heard the stat that no one actually can validate, but that only 20% of listed businesses sell. And so we go, okay, it sounds good, it sounds reasonable, and I'm not going to doubt it if you take the whole universe of that. But like if you get into some of the studies and look at, well, why don't they sell? It's usually over half valuation issues,
Yeah,
right? So
of course.
50% of companies don't sell because there's a valuation gap. And that becomes because our seller has no idea who their buyer is and what the buyer's motivations and behaviors are.
Exactly.
So if I've got I can't expect, if I've got a company with $500,000 in EBITDA, think I'm going to get multiples from a private equity group that's buying $3 or $4 million. But you have business owners all the time who think in those terms. I had one on the phone this morning. He said, "So what do you think it's worth?" I said, "I don't know. I haven't looked at it." He said, "Well, one guy told me, it's 7 times revenue." I said, "Well, that'd be great, but you're selling insulation and
Yeah.
uh, and that type of stuff. That's not going to be that type of thing. But that's what you're dealing with as a buyer. You have these very uneducated sellers sometimes."
That's a good question. Like in traditional businesses, are you valuing based on revenue? Because when somebody says to me they're valuing something based on revenue in the online space, or what I say is it's got to be a software startup that people are buying projections. Basically, there's a small portion of people that will value businesses based on revenue. But if you're buying an online business, please do not do your valuation based on
Right.
revenue alone, net profit, trailing 12 months. Also make sure you see the taxes for the last whatever amount of years that you feel comfortable with. What's it like with a traditional business? When somebody says, I could get somebody's told me 7 times revenue, is that not normal as well?
Yeah, they tell me that, and I go, no.
Yeah,
As a matter of fact, like, nope, you're wrong. Whoever told you that is wrong, because you're valuing ultimately based on EBITDA and the confidence level that
correct.
someone has that EBITDA is going to continue to grow and be there, 3 years, 5 years down the road. And the revenue guy is always what I've noticed with a lot of industries when they become hot early on, like they're emerging industries. IT was like that for a long time. Everybody buys the multiples of revenue.
Yeah,
And well, it goes for 1 times, 2 times revenue. But as they start to mature, it starts to now come into EBITDA multiples, and they look like normal companies. Like I'm
yeah.
in the cannabis space here in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And early on, those were selling for multiples of revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Today, if you can find a buyer, they're selling for multiples of EBITDA.
Yeah,
So, or cash flow from operations, whatever it is. So all these high growing industries start with revenue, but then they become down into more normal, ranges of cash flow.
absolutely.